All right. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us all here today. Today, Shiur should be Le'ilui Nishmas, our dear friend Menachem ben Yisrael Yaakov, as well as my dear aunt Rivka Bas Gavriel Tzvi, and for Zaidi, Reb Shmuel ben Yosef Dov HaKohen, and B'schos the Refuah Shalema Bekarov, Meshalem ben Sarachel, Miriam Basara, and Yair Yeshia ben Chaya Atara. Today, we are on page 209 in the Ora Vigdor, for those who are following along. And we're continuing what we started to talk about, where, when, and how to apply Bitachon. And we started talking about protecting one's life. That you can't say, I have Bitachon on Hashem, and then be careless about yourself. You have to take matters into your own hand. You cannot put yourself into a dangerous situation and say, I have Bitachon and I will live if I need to live, if Hashem decrees so, and if I'm not supposed to live, I won't. No, Hashem wants you to take, initiative and to protect yourself. And a point over here, the Rambam, he says in the Mishnah Torah, he says over there that there's a section that's called Hilchos Rotzeach U'Shmiras HaNefesh, the laws of murder and protecting your life. It doesn't make sense. Why are you making one subject called the laws of murder and protecting one's life? He says, because if you do not protect yourself with all the beings that you're able to, you're supposed to do your part. The Rambam says he considers it murder. You're supposed to take care of yourself and make sure that you are protected at all times. And don't go around in a precarious situation and think that, no, Hashem's got me. No, you're allowed to do that if you have no choice. But you have to take all measures possible in order to protect yourself at all times. And you see over here, he's going to bring over here, Chavos Avavos, the lesson of Shmuel HaNavi. Shmuel HaNavi, Hashem went to him and said, I want you to go and anoint David as the next king. And Shmuel was very afraid. Why? Because Shmuel knew that doing so, if he goes out there to anoint David HaMelech, Shaul HaMelech is going to kind of, battle up against him. He's not going to like that. And what happened was, he told Hashem, how do I do this? So you see, there's a little bit of like, not defense, but kind of like pushback from Shmuel HaNavi to Hashem. And you see over here, they're like, whoa, why doesn't Shmuel HaNavi have Bitachon that everything is going to be taken care of? So he says over here, Chavos Avavos, that no, Shmuel HaNavi, what he did was actually proper. And you see, what did Hashem answer him? Hashem said, okay, in that case, if you fear for your life, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go there on the ploy that you're bringing a sacrifice, bringing your carbon over there, and then, secretly you will anoint David HaMelech. You see that Shmuel HaNavi's concern for his own life, Hashem warrants you to have that fear, and he wants you to take measures into your own hand, and Hashem was proud of him for that. Hashem didn't rebuke him for not doing something like that, because he said, how do I do it? I can't do this on my own. I'm putting my life in danger. And so you see there, accordingly you will find Shmuel alav Hashem Omer. Shmuel said, how can I go? He tells Hashem, Shaul will hear that I'm here and he's going to kill me. It was not considering lack in his Bitachon and Hashem. Rather, Hashem's answer to him, shows that Shmuel's weariness was praiseworthy, that his concern for his own life was something that Hashem was proud of him for taking that initiative, and Hashem helped him out with that. Hashem said to him, take a calf with you and say, I have come to slaughter, bring a carbon, a sacrifice for Hashem. And the rest of the narrative continues along these lines, and in secret he goes ahead and he anoints David HaMelech. Now, you see over here that protecting your life is super important, and Hashem wants you to do that, and you should not say that it's a lack of Bitachon to not protect yourself. You can't put yourself in a bad spot and say, I have Bitachon. Hashem is showing you over here that you need to do by all measures possible by your own being, with your knowledge, your physical ability to protect yourself. If Shmuel's concern showed a lack of trust in Hashem, Hashem would have responded, why are you worried? I am not the one who puts death and brings life. I am not the one who wounds. And I'm the one who heals. Or something like along these lines. The same way it happened by Moshe Rabbeinu. He responded to Moshe Rabbeinu, when Moshe said, how can I be a prophet and not able to speak? We all know the story when Hashem asked Moshe Rabbeinu to go to Parai. Hashem asked him to go speak to Parai, and Moshe Rabbeinu said, how can I do that? I can't speak. Because Moshe, when he was a child, if we remember the story, he took his hands and he took a coal, not voluntarily, a Malach pushed his hand and put it towards his lip, and he had a speech impediment. And he was worried that if he's going to go in front of a Malach, he's not going to be able to speak well. And I have a heavy mouth and heavy speech. And Hashem responded, who makes a mouth for man? Who makes our one dumb or deaf or sighted or blind? Hashem was telling me, don't worry about that. I can make you talk. You don't have to worry about something like that. And you see over here, and by Shmuel was very different, because Shmuel, what he was doing over here, he wasn't saying, I don't want to go. He was saying, how do I do it? And Hashem helped him out in understanding how he can go ahead and do it. He gave him an idea to kind of bring the carbon, and he should kind of mask this whole concept of the carbon. And we'll finish up him. Shmuel in terms of Kase. Now Shmuel, with his perfect righteousness, didn't allow himself to enter into a small risk of danger. I mean, you see Shmuel, who was a huge tzaddik, and he's not worried because he knows Hashem is on his side. Kol Sheken, more so people who are not on that level. I myself, I won't speak for you guys, but myself, who are not on that level, should of course take all possible measures to protect ourselves from any kind of harm, physical harm in our being. You see, Shmuel was concerned about it, and you definitely have to be concerned about it, because we definitely don't have the same zechusim that Shmuel HaNavi had. Now, before we end off today, and we go into next week, this week in Pashas Vayelech, we see that Moshe Rabbeinu goes and talks to the Yidden before he passes away. And he prepares the nation for his departure. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, be strong and courageous, do not fear or be afraid of them, for Hashem, your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not let go of you and He will not forsake you. Moshe Rabbeinu, before he goes from this world, he departs, and the Yidden are about to go into Eretz Yisrael and go to war to conquer Eretz Yisrael. He warns them, he doesn't warn him, he tells him, says, don't worry, Hashem is with you. This concept, what Moshe Rabbeinu is building up is exactly the concept that we learned today and this week, what we got into. He says this connects directly with the Shaar HaBitachon that we've been learning. Rav Av reminds us that Bitachon, it's not this blanket idea. We spoke about this, right? It's not this blanket idea. Hashem doesn't want to hear lip service that you have Bitachon. He wants to see action. And this week what we saw that the action is that you have to do your hishtadlus. You have to do your part every single day in order to, even though you have Bitachon, but there is a part of Bitachon that you need to do on your own. And so much so you have when it comes to areas of your life, like earning a living, or to put food on the table, or protecting yourself from, we just spoke about, from danger, or going to a doctor when you need to, right? It's not this idea that you can't have Bitachon without also doing hishtadlus. You can't say that. You can't say, oh, I have Bitachon, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go to the doctors. No. You need to do what makes sense, what's in your capacity. We know at the end of the day, Hashem is going to do what's right, but you have to do what's right in your capacity. And the same thing, at the same time, it has to go side by side. You have to do your part and have in mind, understand that Hashem is there with you all the time and He's going to protect you. And Hashem is going to do what's right. And that's going to help you out with that anxiety and that fear. And in here, in Vayelech, in this Parsha, Moshe emphasizes exactly this balance to the Bnei Yisrael. He tells them, go forward into the land, organize, fight battles, prepare, do your hishtadlus, set up a plan, a battle plan. But he says to him, Hashem Elokecha hu ha'alecha emach. Hashem is always going to be at your side. Why? To remind you that you are going to do your part. You're going to plan. You're going to go to war. You're going to make weapons. You're going to prepare. You're going to conquer. Don't forget the entire time. That's your hishtadlus, but your Bitachon, understand that you know why you're going to be victorious, because Hashem is by your side. Hashem is going to protect you. And so the takeaway from this week from Parshas Vayelech, in conjunction with Shaar HaBitachon, what we learned this week, is you have to do your part with complete clarity. You have to do what makes sense. What makes sense in your business, in your day-to-day, whether it's in your personal life, it doesn't matter. There's a plan, there's something that you have to follow, a structure. You have to follow a structure. And know when you are responsible to act. And then at the same time, know when you have to let go and just trust that Hashem has got you. He has everything for you in best interest, and He will take care of you, L'olam Vad. And that balance of effort and faith is the secret to living without fear, without anxiety, without worry every single day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all here today. Have a beautiful Shabbos, and I love you all.